Francis with How to Lettuce Media with Amber. This class is this talk is basically how not to suck at Twitter. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to unveil to you some of the, we have some bots that we try and experiment different personalities in Twitter. And as a result, we've learned certain things that just downright don't attract people. And we've learned other things that draw attention to you. And so the goal here is to share with you some of the things that people are looking for. Now, you may have found from trial and error, sometimes you put something out on Twitter and a bunch of people follow you. Sometimes you put something out there and no one pays any attention to it. We're going to try and give you some patterns to stick to that will help you build your following on Twitter. Some simple rules, things not to do from the very beginning, though. My personal favorite is avoid Twitter vomit. These are the people who get up at 8 in the morning and then they feed out like 10 different RSS feeds of Twitter. You know the ones I'm talking about? You go and glance at your tweet deck and you basically see the same icon going all the way down. Yes, no? Okay. How many of you are on Twitter, by the way? As if you're not on Twitter, we're going to be speaking up at this level. I don't want to...
Say who's not on Twitter.
Yeah, who's not on Twitter? Buy the tape.
Buy the tape.
Avoid, I should warn everybody, I'm on antibiotics right now and a lot of Robitussin, so if I suddenly fall, Amber's going to take over and she's got no voice. So it's going to be either real interesting or a real interesting train wreck.
And the defib machines in the break room.
Yeah. I would just get somebody tiny to jump up and down on my chest, you know. Other things to avoid: selfish behavior. You know, one of the worst things in the world is people constantly talking about themselves. When we train, and I should step back, How to Lettuce, we basically teach businesses how to integrate social media into their marketing machine, into their company culture. And so this is something that when we're talking to businesses, we discuss these things. People, think about when you go to an event like this. You come here today, if you just go around passing out cards to everybody, introducing yourself, and then turning and walking away, what kind of impression do you think you probably made? Probably a real crappy one, right? So the goal is you want to engage people. So you want to walk into a networking event like this. You want to look for opportunities to talk to people. You want to find commonalities. You want to show that there's a reason they should pay attention to what you're saying. And more importantly, pay attention to what they're saying, because you know what? People don't care what you know until they know that you care. So we want to practice not so much selfish behaviors, practice a little open and giving behavior. Somebody says something nice, retweeting them. By the way, retweeting yourself, not so much. Yeah, we kind of pick on people. Now, granted, all of us go out to a bar sometimes and we see our tweet and we laugh about it and we accidentally retweet it. You know, that happens, but try not to make a habit of it. Don't tweet just about yourself. When you're having a private conversation with somebody, that's when you move into direct messages. If you're using an auto DMer, please, for the love of God, kill it.
Wait, can I object?
You can.
You know me.
Yeah, it's okay.
You know me.
Yes.
I am big on Twitter. I do auto DMs for one purpose and one purpose only: to weed out the spammers. I use a service that actually will auto DM.
Oh, please don't tell me you use TrueTwit.
I do.
Oh my God, no. Okay, here and now, I understand the logic.
Hold on. I work with an international group of people that are high into not only social media but the mainstream media, like New York Times, CNN, that kind of stuff. And they use it too, and that's one of the reasons why I started using it, because I had 3,000 followers and about 200 of them were real people. So I got rid of all of those, started over.
Now that may be the case, and that's a good, honest reason to want TrueTwit to succeed. And I do agree with that. But let me ask you, by a show of hands here, how many people here unfollowed somebody because you didn't want to have to deal with TrueTwit?
Well,
so for the 200 you had...
The way I feel about it is, if you don't want to deal with me verifying that you're a real person, then I'm not going to talk to you anyways.
Yeah, and then those people who just raise their hands, you lose.
Yeah, that's fine. And then they're following me.
And you're probably not using it for genuine marketing.
Now, by the way,
I do not use it for any marketing.
Now we got 30 minutes, so I'm going to rope us back in.
Sorry.
I should warn y'all, I was a professional speaker for 4 years with Realtor.com. I dealt with real estate agents. They had the shortest attention spans in the world. I know how to keep us on track. Of course, my attention span's out there. I can say that I was a realtor. But here's the thing, auto DMing, not a big fan of it. I've had other people argue with me, well, I want to extend a thank you to everyone who follows me. I don't have time to go and do it to all of them personally. You know what, that's kind of like me walking into this room and say, hey, everybody, thanks for coming in, love you all, bye-bye. It's not making any impression on you, is it, other than, well, yeah, it's junk mail, it's mass mail. By the way, if you get auto DMs welcoming you, if you go to socialomph.com, you can sign up to be put on their do not auto DM list. They're one of the bigger people out there sending auto DMs. It reduced my auto DMs something like 80%. So it's a good one, Social Oomph. All right, we did DM. Some good things to do. Reference others, promote events, thank people, interact, have fun. Some of the things that, you know, again, think about when you come to an event. If I walk up and I introduce you to somebody else and you know me, what are you going to think of the person I'm introducing you to? It's like, well, they must be pretty cool, unless, you know, of course, unless you don't like me, in which may not be the best recommendation. But the fact of the matter is, if you like me and I come up and introduce you to somebody, you're like, oh, hey, okay, this might be somebody worth talking to. You know, when I came to my first Barcamp 2 years ago in '09, and Brenda was awesome because she took me around and introduced me to everybody. And because Brenda was introducing me to people know Brenda, and suddenly they were willing to talk to me, where had I just walked in and started spewing all of my own thing, it might not have worked so successfully. So,
didn't I actually beg you to come to
Yes. Brenda is responsible for me being here, so anyone who thinks I suck afterwards, deal with her. Okay, so I mentioned we're going to have some fun. I want to show you some of the things that we do. First of all, with Barcamp Tampa, we ran the Twitter account for Barcamp Tampa, and some of the things that we did, we have systems that we use, and we have little cheats that we use, and we don't share all of them because in the wrong hands they could be dangerous. As we often tell our clients, some of the things we do is kind of like teaching you how to use a shotgun shell loader. They're really cool, but if I just give you the directions and I give you the loader and I walk out that door, I might not want to be the person to test fire your first shell. And for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, basically that's the thing that builds the bullet. And then you're going to go and shoot it if you don't know what you're doing. So we're not going to discuss all the things that we do. But we have a system that basically we take a look at the account and we develop what is the profile of the person who should be following Barcamp Tampa. So who here follows Barcamp Sarasota? You were all targeted. Who follows Barcamp Orlando? You were all targeted. Barcamp West Coast, Barcamp, all the Barcamps in Florida, Barcamp Miami. We went looking for the user groups. We basically went looking, we built a profile for the type of people who we felt would be interested in coming to Barcamp. So we started there. Now, by the way, here's the real fun thing. You take a look at this. We started this a couple months ago. This was August 29th. You may have noticed we really ramped up volume in the last 2 weeks. If you were following the account, you would have noticed this. So here we are at, I think, 1,300 people. In a matter of 2 weeks, we launched it up to 1,800 people. So we added about 500 people, and this is where we started to really pour it on. We started to push some of the envelopes. We started to add more people each day than we would normally recommend, which, by the way, if you're promoting for an event, you know, a couple weeks before the event, that's where you start to pour it on. We also ran the social media for Health Camp Florida. That one we had a 3-week ramp up, so there we fired up real fast. And one of the tweets I sent out was about when to step on the gas and when to let off. 2 weeks before your event might be a good time to step on the gas. And by that point, if you end up getting the account shut down, at least you got the message out to quite a few people. See, now, by the way, we have never had an account shut down, so everything that we're doing so far has been nice. You can see we've got the account listed almost 95 times. Yeah, we lost a couple followers here, but the followers lost, when you look, the most we lost in one day was about 23. You know what, chances are they weren't coming anyways. They were just following it because they had no idea what it was about. That's okay. We're going after a specific targeted market. So when you're working on your Twitter account, think about it. Who are you trying to target? Who do you want to be talking to? Who is your audience? It's kind of important. If you're talking for the sake of talking, you can go stand on a corner and eventually people will gather around you, but you're probably not going to get as much accomplished, right? Or they may run in fear. All right, here we went and, let's see, what was this one? Okay, tweets over time. You can also see what we did where, again, the 2-week mark, we basically fired everything up. That's where we started feeding in all the sponsors. We started feeding in all of the promo tweets, why you should come. You can see the consistent down there is total favorites. I didn't go really favoriting anything. Post links, we threw a bunch of links out there. Activity really just started shooting up. Now, the things which we did with this account, one of the important things in social media is, there's a lot of experimentation to be had. And so when it comes to experimenting, these are the guinea pigs. Well, exception of Sunscreen and Cody River Bike Fest and Pointer, we run those accounts. But these are some of the accounts that we're running right now. And you can see that, we have some fun with them. I mean, the top one, Chatbot. If Kirk was assimilated by the board, it might be him. All that thing does is tweet out quotes for William Shatner. It's got a clout of 45. It's got a lot of people following. A lot of people retweet it. You know what, though? If you're a Trekkie, it's a fun message. Let's see, I'm going to skip and go to the next page. Yeah, the one on top, Lord Great, and that's my cat. And it's the cat. It tweets out randomly messages from the cat. It targets pet stores. It targets cats. It goes following other cats on Twitter. As a result, it's developing a following.
Did he know Morgan's dog?
I know he's friends with Sean's dog, so it's entirely possible. So those are some of the silly ones, but now some of the ones that are geared towards where we really started to play. Social media rock star. So to give everyone a chance to read this one. This was created more as a spoof account in the very beginning. This is social media rock star. I rock social media. I am an expert, a total guru. When I talk social media, you should listen. I'm the great white elephant of social media. In the beginning, all it did was retweet Guy Kawasaki. Then we added in some RSS feeds from Alltop. We added in Mashable. We added in, what else, Social Fresh. I started feeding in some other feeds, and I put in some pre-programmed tweets that are coming out. It has built-in auto responses, so if you want to have fun, if you tweet it, it will respond to you. It is one cocky son of a bitch. It'll be like, from the moment you first saw me, I could tell you knew how awesome I was. It's got a clout of 53. This thing gets retweeted more than I ever get retweeted. On Follow Fridays, he is in like billions of lists out there. I think he's like over 4,000 followers. Now, but to put these in, I think I'm at 3,500 followers, which is, it's a decent amount, but he's got me beat. This one here loves hot sauce. He likes the spice. The spice is good. Guess what he talks about? Hot sauce. When you're developing your Twitter brand personality, here's the thing. What you say in your profile, probably what you should be talking about. Even though Social Media Rockstar is a spoof account, fact of the matter is he talks about social media. He actually feeds out really interesting information with a wee bit of sarcasm. Well, a lot of sarcasm in there. But the fact of the matter is, when you're on Twitter, think of yourself as setting up a channel or setting up a newsletter. If all you do is just put out the news, how interesting is that going to be? Are people going to stop and pay attention for long? Yes, no?
No.
Yeah. So let's do it live. It's more fun. Gives me some energy. But the fact of the matter is, you got to deliver on what you say you're going to deliver on, but then at the same time, more important than anything, you need to be entertaining. If you're not entertaining, you get boring real fast. Especially when people are starting to follow from 50 people, up to 100 people, up to 500, up to 1,000. I'm following over 3,000 people. Do you think all 3,000 of them get noticed by me? No, but the people who say things relevant to what I'm looking for, or say the stuff that's good enough that it gets retweeted by a bunch of other people. If you say something and it gets a lot of retweets, usually that's going to get some attention. Let's see, I'm going to get us out of this, and now we'll go online, and I'll show you some fun stuff there. See how dexterous I am. Oops. All right. So now, by the way, here's, for those of you that saw while we were tweeting out the numbers for today, the hashtag so far, I'd have to refresh it, but basically we are over 1 million impressions on the hashtag Barcamp Tampa. It's pretty awesome when you think about that. We've had over 200,000 people see that. We have 300 people here. So from 300 people, we have over 200,000 people that are hearing about Barcamp Tampa today. How do you think that is for the Tampa community, good or bad?
Great.
Yeah, that's a good thing. So if you're on Twitter, retweet it. Let's jack this sucker up to 2 million. By the way, you can see I'm keeping track. So I've got our top 10 lists. Brenda's beating Amber right now, but we'll have to see. By the way, I'm having a little fun because we got mine here, this one here, and then you'll see every now and then I fire something out on like 10 different accounts. And so it looks something like that. And I usually don't do that. That's just something that I was doing to be silly today. Fact of the matter is, people who follow Loves Hot Sauce, do you think they could care less about Barcamp? Probably not. We have another one, Auto Chat. He talks about cars. Do you think they could care about hot sauce? Probably not. So be brand specific in your Twitter account. If you want to develop a following, you're dealing with programmers. Talk about programming. Talk about the things that programmers find funny. Talk about the things entertaining going on in your day. Yeah, that's kind of important. Now let's see, I'm going to get you, we'll go into the accounts because this is where it gets really fun. When we take a look at, we'll go play with Social Media Rockstar because he is definitely the fun one. So we'll give him, has anyone tweeted him while they're in here yet? Okay.
Why did you create him again, Tony? Because you were...
He was originally a spoof. Because honestly, we were getting tired of people saying they were social media experts. So I'm a social media expert. In fact, if you go look on Clout, one of the things I'm influential in is tuna. And the reason being, in March, I got so sick of the term social media, we renamed it Tuna Escapades. Yeah, sometimes jokes backfire. As a result, I'm influential in tuna. And I got a wise-ass partner that likes to +1 me on it every single chance she gets.
She's not the only one, Anthony.
Yeah. I just thought I probably have to plug this in, maybe get it.
Just tweeting your online alter ego.
Actually, he's not. If you want to see my alter ego online, I will warn you, it is me unfiltered. It's F you, I'm cranky.
My friend.
Have you? Didn't offend you yet, did I? Give him time. No.
You'll be getting my true twit validation.
And here's the sad thing. I unfollow everyone who sends me a true twit validation. And it's just because, here's my philosophy.
So he's really good.
Yeah.
That's okay. I and been booed at more than one unconference for the fact that I do send auto DMs to new followers, and it's exactly for the reason I said. I want to interact with people that actually want to talk to me. I don't want to have a bunch of spammers in there.
Well, here's the thing. You get the audience you want by doing it that way. So if it works, then
exactly.
By all means.
That is the audience.
The Wi-Fi is overloaded in this room.
Yeah, okay. I was going to say, I guess we're not going to get to play in there too much. Let me see which of the accounts I have open. All right. Well, basically, okay. This is something which we use. Now, this is a good tool that you can use in seeing what kind of message you're putting out there. It's tweetstats.com. What I like about them is they have a really neat tool. It's this Twitter cloud here. You can pull up and take a look at what your traffic is. The Twitter cloud, though, because I'm not connected, I can't pull it up, but it basically shows you a word cloud conversation around all of your tweets. So if you're, if you're a programmer, you want to basically see the keywords coming up in whatever languages you're programming in. If you're a social media person, you want to see social media perhaps pop up there. What you don't want to be seeing is, fluffy dog and all kinds of weird stuff that has nothing to do with what you're trying to attract people and following you. You know, the key thing is with your Twitter account, first you got to go and target the people who you feel you want to be connecting with. Then you have to provide content that they're going to find interesting. In addition to providing them content, you have to share and partake in the content that they're putting out there. If somebody puts something out there that's useful, retweet it, comment on it, share it, talk to them about it. Yeah, the fact of the matter is Twitter is a conversation. And if you're not taking part in the conversation, you know, that's where you get unfollowed. That's where you turn people off, and you know, that's how you learn, that's how you suck at Twitter. You know, so I'm going to get us back on track because I see we're at 2 now. So if anyone's got questions, we got a couple minutes because I started late, but I don't want to go any longer. No? All right. Ta-da. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
You say you don't like tree twit. How do you recommend we cut down on spammers? Is there a better way?
You know what? Here's what I recommend. There's a tool called Tweepy, T-W-E-E-P-I. It is fantastic. These guys just finished developing it, and I've been working with them as they're putting it together. You can go and you can pull a list of everybody who has clout under a certain number. You can go and pull everybody who hasn't tweeted in so many days. You can go and pull everybody who has a goose egg as their avatar. There's all kinds of ways that you can sort them. You can actually pull up your complete Twitter list, add everybody's clout in there, add the number of tweets, add the last time they tweeted, so it makes it real easy to go through and thin down your tweets. And that's what I recommend, and that's kind of what I do, because I get tons of bots that follow me. But at the same time, you know, there's Follow Friday. I refer to it as Thin Down Thursday. That's where I go through and trim out the crap. You know, people who are talking stupid things, people who aren't talking things relevant to me, I move them out. If I go and I look and somebody's tweeting, you know, 60 times a day and their clout's like 10, chances are they're really not putting much message out there, so I unfollow those people.
What's your interesting clout range? Like 30 up?
You know, here's my philosophy. It depends on how many tweets the person's put out. You got to have, you know, we all started and we were all brand new on Twitter at one time. And so if you don't have a lot of tweets out there, the national average on clout is 20.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you have a 20 or above, you're considered average or above.
It'd be interesting to see what the average clout is in like a room like this. You know, I figure it's higher than...
That'd be a fun experiment. You know what? I may have to actually go and do that now.
There's one that suggests that, I think Chris Penn is one of them, suggests that if you find somebody with a clout score of 60 or above, it's probably not a human being on that account.
Well, no, that's not true though, because
it's probably not.
Who here has a clout over 60?
Right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I'm running, you know.
See, I mean, heck, Amber is 70 billion. Well, yeah, although Amber is not human, she is cyborg.
Like I said, that is
say something about peer index as well.
Peer index, yeah, peer index is another measurement platform. I just use clout because it's fun. It's fun to say and it's fun to pick on. You know, we created the clout drinking game that every time someone mentions clout, you got to drink. So later on, we'll be doing that. So
that explains your brain condition.
You've seen anything that it gives you a good indication of what percentage of your followers are people that, you know, are on 150?
Go ahead and set up.
They read everything in their timeline versus people that just follow everybody and only read 15 minutes.
So wait, let me make sure I read. So the number of people who actually read the timeline versus people who just let it go by, you're saying?
Right. In terms of if you've got a brand account, you're trying to decide how much, what percentage of you.
Hey guys, we got conversation going on here still, please.
What percentage of the people following you?
Okay. The best way to figure that out, when you go and take a look at your clout score, the bottom score on your dashboard is true following. That's the number of people that you're actually interacting with. So for example, I've got, I think, 3,500 followers, or true reach. My true reach is about 1,000. So I got about 1,000 people that I actually interact with. That's a better number. Yes?
To manage multiple Twitter accounts from a single interface, what are you supposed to use?
Well, if you want to screw yourself up, use TweetDeck.
That's a mistake I made.
Who here used TweetDeck and sent the tweet out on the wrong account? I use Hootsuite. We've also used it. We've used CoTweet. CoTweet works good. We've experimented with a couple different ones, but Hootsuite, the paid version's my personal favorite. Hootsuite works the best on your Android phones also, because it will retweet from the account that you read the tweet on. Which with TweetDeck, I have sent things out. A lot of these bots were like top secret for a while, and I gave myself away on some of them by responding on my personal account. So, oops. Yeah. Anyone else? No? Right. Yes? All right. Thank you.